The other day I was talking to someone and they said something I thought is what we all feel initially in disclosure, which is, when will the pain stop? How do I make the pain go away that if you're an unfaithful spouse, you are seeing, hearing, and feeling in the life of the betrayed spouse? If you're a betrayed spouse, you may be wondering, man, how do I make the pain stop inside of me? And how do I make my unfaithful spouse, if they're empathetic and remorseful, how do I help them? And there's something that you just have to buy into. It's not a popular opinion. It's not something that we really want to subscribe to in life. But the truth is, especially in infidelity, you have to let the pain do its work. Letting the pain work is a challenging approach. It doesn't mean that you don't get help, and it doesn't mean that you don't take action. It doesn't mean that you don't do something like the free boot camp at affairrecovery.com. It doesn't mean that you don't find the best therapist that you can, but I want to just tell you, if you're an unfaithful spouse, let me break it to you. The pain isn't going away anytime soon. It's going to be here for a while. And depending upon the severity of your choices and what you have invited into your life, the pain is going to be here for a while. And every time you look at your spouse, that pain is going to be prevalent. Some days it's going to be very easy to see and hear. Some days it may not look like it's there, but I promise you, this pain is going to be there both in your spouse's heart and in your own for having an affair or an addiction. But that pain is there to do work. You have to allow the pain to do its work, or I promise you, you're not going to develop, you're not going to mature, you're not going to heal if you don't let the pain work for you. When we're in pain, it does a few things for us. And I know that if you're watching these videos, I'm sure that you're in pain. If you're on the website, I know that you're in pain. I talk to people in pain every day, and I understand what it's like to be where you're at. But let me make a few observations about the pain that you're experiencing, especially if you're an unfaithful spouse, but this will relate to you as a betrayed spouse as well. Number one, pain gets our attention. One of the most telling things early on in discovery was the amount of pain I saw Samantha in, the amount of pain I saw so many of the people that were caught in the crosshairs of my choices were in. It hurt like hell, and it woke me up. And if you're an unfaithful spouse, I hope that the pain that you're in, and I hope the pain that you're experiencing wakes you up out of the fog, out of the deception, out of the self-righteousness, out of the continual justifying of your actions and blaming your spouse for what you have done. I'm sorry, but I got to be straightforward today and tell you that that pain is there to wake you up, to shake you from the autopilot and the deception that you have been trapped in for God knows really how long. Another thing pain does is it presents an opportunity to change. You see, when we encounter pain, we don't want to be in pain. We'll do almost anything to stop the pain. And so, in many ways, when you're in pain, it creates an opportunity for you to begin to say, you know what? Life has got my attention. This situation has got my attention. I don't want to keep doing what I'm doing, inflicting hurt and pain on my spouse or even myself. I want to stop the dysfunction that is going on inside of me. Maybe it's an addiction. Maybe it's an inability to stop acting out with another man or woman. I don't know, but the thing about pain is it will compound. If we keep doing what we're doing, we're going to keep getting what we're getting, and it doesn't have to be that way. Another thing pain does is it corrects us and it teaches us. When my double life came out, it hurt like hell to see so many people in pain. It hurt to really understand that my family My home life, my marriage was in complete jeopardy due to what I had done. And I needed that. I needed a wake-up call to see that I couldn't just do whatever I wanted, however I wanted, and not think that there were going to be consequences. There were more consequences than I could ever imagine. Just this weekend, it's been 13 years, I was thinking through some other layers of consequences. And it was a sobering thought to think about the consequences. Yes, they've faded, but there's still some consequences to this day because of my actions. It doesn't mean that there's not grace and mercy and a wonderful marriage and a fantastic family, all by the grace of God and all by getting the right help and all by the wonderful testament to Samantha's heart to forgive and start anew. But I will tell you, there's still consequences that I see and feel and experience in my own heart. It's a video blog all to itself, and I'll do that one day. But pain teaches us. It shakes us and says, you can't just live how you want and not expect there to be consequences to your actions. Pain also teaches us patience. And it was tough when I started to feel all this pain and hurt because of what I had done. And seeing Samantha in incredible pain and hurt, I wanted to fix it. I've talked about that many times. I wanted to make it all go away. I wanted to just stop the pain, whatever I could do. And sure, ending the affair and not going back to the affair partner, that stopped the initial bleeding, but that didn't make the pain go away. The pain was still there, and I had to be patient with the process. And patient with the process meant I had to let the pain do its work inside of me. Samantha had to allow the pain inside of me to work. I mean, if she would have just forgiven me super quick and put it in a box and just decided, okay, we're just going to move on down the road and we won't really talk about this, it would have been a recipe for disaster. It would have been inviting absolute destruction because I wouldn't have learned what I needed to learn. I wouldn't have had to plow through the dysfunction in my heart and in my life and in my soul. I wouldn't have had to find out why I did what I did and what made me think that it was okay that I did what I did. If I didn't feel the pain that I was going through, I wouldn't have been so introspective. I wouldn't have been so desperate to meet with Rick. I wouldn't have been so desperate to get any and all help that we could to be able to find out, how do I help Samantha heal? Pain was a good friend that I hated, that I would have punched. But I'll tell you, I needed it. And if you're in pain today, I want to ask you to allow the pain to do its work. Instead of maybe trying to run, and certainly if you're an unfaithful spouse, the worst thing that you can do is try and medicate your pain with alcohol or an addiction or going back to an affair partner or pornography or escorts or what have you. One of the best things that you can do is lean into the pain and say, I will let this pain do its work. It's teaching me, it's correcting me, it's waking me up, it's humbling me. It is teaching me how to be patient with the process of getting healthy and repairing both myself and hopefully repairing my marriage and family.